James Owens was 30 years old. An infantryman turned ceremonial guard, stationed at Fort Myer, Virginia. He was everything you'd expect from someone in the U.S. Army's 3rd Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. Clean. Sharp. Unshakable. Every morning started the same. 6 a.m. Boots laced so tight you could bounce a quarter off them. Uniform pressed until it cut light like glass. Movements choreographed down to the inch. He didn't complain. He didn't waver. And in a unit that honored fallen heroes with flawless silence, James was one of the best. Until that day. The Armed Forces Day Parade was massive, streamed nationwide, dignitaries in the stands, cameras everywhere. James had done it before. Hundreds of times. But this one felt heavier. He'd barely slept the night before. At 3:12 a.m., he got a call from home. His mother, Elaine Owens, single mother, retired bus driver, 2-time cancer survivor, had collapsed. "It's your call," the nurse said. She may not have much time left. He stared at the wall. Then the clock. Then the mirror, uniform hanging in place. And after a long pause, he whispered, "She'd want me to march." So he did. But 14 minutes into the formation, during a precision turn, James stepped early. Just a second. Just a single beat. But in the Old Guard, a misstep might as well be a gunshot. And it happened in front of a national audience. By evening, the internet had his name. By midnight, the memes were everywhere. U.S. Army, now hiring clowns. Oops. Did Private Twinkletoes forget how to march? Guess even soldiers need Google Maps. He tried not to look. But it was everywhere, shared by friends, strangers, even some fellow soldiers behind closed doors. He didn't argue. Didn't speak. He showed up the next morning with the same polished boots. Same posture. Same silence. But his world had changed. What they didn't see on the live stream was the handwritten note in James' left breast pocket. It was his mother's. Written months ago. She knew the cancer was back. "Don't let this be the thing that breaks you. You keep marching, son. That's who you are." He carried it with him that morning, folded small, tucked next to his chest like armor. Every sarcastic glance. Every half-whispered joke. He took it. Quietly. Not because he was weak, but because he knew who he was marching for. He didn't tell his CO what happened. Didn't use grief as an excuse. That week, while others laughed behind his back, James folded 3 flags for families who'd lost their sons in combat. One woman, an elderly black grandmother, wept so hard she collapsed at his feet. James caught her mid-fall, held her like she was his own, and whispered, "He mattered. We remember him." That night, alone in his barracks, he finally called the hospital. His mother had passed that morning. He didn't cry. He sat on his bunk, opened her note again, and whispered, "I marched, Mom. I messed up, but I marched." Weeks passed. The internet found a new joke. The world moved on. But James didn't stop showing up. Not when it rained. Not when he was called March failed behind his back. He never corrected anyone. He never raised his voice. Until Memorial Day. A military funeral at Arlington, a 27-year-old Marine lost to an IED. Family in full dress. A little boy, the Marine's son, stood beside the casket, barely tall enough to see over it. James led the ceremony. Perfect. Measured. Impeccable. When he handed the flag to the boy, the child stared at him with trembling hands. "Are you a real soldier?" he whispered. James bent down, took off his white gloves, and smiled for the first time in weeks. "Real soldiers make mistakes," he said. "But they don't stop marching." The moment was caught on a personal phone camera, not a production team. It went viral again. But this time, people didn't laugh. He's more than that one step. This is what honor looks like. Respect to this man. A real hero. James never acknowledged the old video. Never responded to comments. But the next day, in the barracks, someone had left something on his bunk. A printed screenshot. His misstep. With the words, "Still here. Still marching." And beneath it, 8 signatures from his unit. James didn't march for perfection. He marched for his mother. For fallen brothers. For every step forward, no matter how broken the ground beneath it. Because real soldiers don't march to be seen. They march because someone has to keep moving, even when it hurts.